Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're taking a look at one of my favorite independent brands from Sweden, Celegin watches. I really love this brand because Mr. Leonard Celegin, the guy that I actually have met twice, and he's a really great guy. He actually has such a great and fantastic vision for his watch brand, and when I talk to him, he really, I don't know, he conveys such a inner inspiration and such a motivation for the things that he's doing, and he's just a talented guy, and I love featuring his watches, and I love to show you his new watch that we're going to be featuring in this video today, the Celegin Helgonet, based on the TV series The Saint from the 1970s with Mr. Roger Moore. And that's so cool that he Celegin watches first started out like producing aviation inspired watches, and then this is a total 360 or 180, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a 180 because 360 makes you come back around. It's a total 180, and just giving us a watch that is inspired by a TV show, by a car in a TV show, and by the watch in that car from that TV show from the 1970s. So us old guys might remember the show. I'm actually born in the 1980s, so I don't remember it that much, but I watched it a couple of times with my father when I was growing up. But let's talk more showing you the watch. Let's unbox the Celegin Helgonet. Flip the camera and take a look at the watch. The perfect setup for an unboxing. We have shade and then we have sun. That's perfect because then I can show you the watch in both shade. I don't know if it's gonna be shade up here, but yeah, either way, this is the box from Celegin watches. Let's open it up, and this is a preview sample. This watch has been sent around to a lot of reviewers and bloggers and YouTubers, and now it's my turn. I just have to get it out. It's really neatly stuffed in there. It's almost like this case was made exactly to fit this case. And first impressions of this watch, it's not my first impressions, to be honest. I actually met Leonard at our little event that we had here in my hometown. He came to our event, he had a little motivational speech, and I actually got to feel all of the watches in the Celegin lineup, and I actually got to feel the Helgonet as well. But so it's not the first impressions, but still the impressions. I'm wearing the Tudor Ranger today. Sorry about that, I just showed it to you recently. Tudor Ranger, great watch. We're here to talk about Helgonet from Celegin watches. Look at that box. I mean, let's just talk about the box for one second here. We have all the logos from their releases, their previous releases. We have the Treud there, we have the Vegan right there, and then we have the Helgonet car right there. So all of the watches that they have released or will be released are actually featured on this box. That's a cool little thing to show you their lineup, and that they're proud of the things they have released until now. Open up the box. There we have the little pouch, traveling case, call it whatever you want. We have Celegin written there in nice leather. This is a canvas pouch travel case, and in here we have the actual watch right there, and a bunch of, these are not Celegin straps. These are straps that Leonard sent to me. He gave me these to feature them on the watch so that I can show you the watch in a bunch of different configurations, and I'm going to do that. And here we have it, the Saint Helgonet. It's a cool thing that Leonard actually is proud of being Swedish, and that he, even though that a lot of people that are not from Sweden might be buying this watch, it still is written, everything on the dial here is written in Swedish. We have Celegin there, and then Helgonet which means the saint in Swedish. You can see it right there, and then you can see it says automatisk, that's automatic, Sverige, and that's Sweden. Beautiful color on that dial. It's blue, green, metallic blue, sometimes a little bit turquoise. Let's just give the watch a little juice there. What did I do? I actually screwed the crown back in. There we have it. Giving it some juice, and we're gonna move that minute hand out of the way. Yeah, let's look at that step dial. He told me that the crown on this one is a little finicky because it's a review sample, and it actually is a little hard to screw back in, but that will not be the case with the actual release. It's just on this little model that has been passed along to a bunch of different people, and it's a cool watch. I mean, it's, if you know the car that it's inspired from, and if you've seen the watch, if you're a car buff and you know the Volvo P1800 or 1800, I don't know how to say that. If you know the car, then you will recognize this watch, because it actually looks exactly like the watch from the dashboard in that car. Maybe not exactly, but the font on those numerals is spot on, and it's a beautiful step dial. You see that we have a bunch of configurations. I mean, we have a bunch of dimensions here. All the numerals are raised, and then we have the black disc, the inner bezel, and then we have the blue in the middle. There it's basically three-dimensional watch, because we have 3 spaces here, and that's so cool. We have a fixed bezel, and it seems to be brushed on the top and then polished on that ring, giving you both polishing and brushing in the same bezel, and actually it looks great. It catches the eye. Then we have brushing on the lugs and polishing on the edges of those lugs. Nicely done. Then we have a stamped crown with the C for Celegin, I think. Yeah, nice curvature on those lugs. Let's take a look at the case back. Oh, we have bracelet with Celegin written there. Butterfly bracelet. What kind of do we have screws or do we have pins on this one? Those are actually, oh nice, those are screws. Good job, Mr. Celegin. And then we have the actual car on the back, the Volvo P1800, and as you can see, it's written Helgonet Schweiziskt Urwerk. That's Swiss. It's a Swiss movement inside. 100 meters. It's not Swiss made. It says Swiss movement. 100 meters. Sapphire glass. Number 0. So I guess they're all going to be numbered. And the Celita SW200-1, and then the Celegin branding there. Nice case back. First impressions of the watch is that it's a really original and nice piece. I mean, I haven't seen a watch looking like this before, and it's a cool look. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about the specifics here. We have in our hands, or maybe on a some kind of surface, depends on what footage I choose to insert here. We have the Celegin Helgonet 38. The reference number is P38H. It's a racing P38H racing watch. Diameter 38.5 on the bezel, because the bezel protrudes a little bit from the case, and if you're counting the diameter on the case, it's actually 38 millimeters. A lug to lug of 45.5 millimeters. The lug width is 20 millimeters, and the thickness is 12.1 millimeters. The movement inside is a Celita SW200-1 with 38 hours of power reserve, 26 joules, and it beats at a rate of 28,800 beats per hour. That's 4 hertz. The loom in this baby is Swiss Superluminova BGW9. The watch is entirely made of 316L stainless steel. It has a sapphire crystal with AR coating on the inside. It has a stepped dial, a stepped sunburst dial, that is. Water resistance is 100 meters, and it has a cool and really comfortable butterfly clasp. So, first impressions, as I said little before, it's great, it's cool, it's something unique. It's, if I loved the TV series and if I had a love for cars and a Volvo, this would be a must buy, because it's a cool little thing when it's inspired by something. Maybe it's not niche, but in my eyes, since I'm not interested in cars and since I have no interest in the TV show, it's a niche thing to release. It's a very specific, I mean, it's not racing inspired or divers inspired or aviation inspired. It's a niche. It's a specific TV series from a specific car in that TV series, and maybe that car is some kind of legend in car collecting circles, I don't know. But it's so cool that the car that Roger Moore drove in the series, the Saint, is the watch in that car actually became this watch. That's really cool. It feels sturdy. It feels like the other Celegin releases that I've featured. It feels like it's a high quality watch. It feels like when you're paying for this watch, and you're actually paying quite a bit. It's not a low budget cheap watch, and it's not an expensive watch. There are a lot of watches in this price category, but it's a unique watch from a really, I cannot emphasize this enough, really great guy standing behind the brand. And I wouldn't blink to buy stuff from Mr. Leonard Celegin, because once you've met him, you just want to hug him. And by buying this watch, you can actually have him hug your wrist in some way. Good bracelet, butterfly clasp, screwed links. Yeah, it's a great watch, a great release from Celegin. It gives you that colorful pop. It feels like a spring summer watch if you need something with a little bit of color, and with the classy design on those numerals, the font being exactly the same as that old vintage Volvo. It's a vintage watch in a modern twist with modern colors. Maybe the colors are exactly the same as they were in the car, so that it's vintage colors really, but these kinds of colors are really in right now. I mean, we have a bunch of companies releasing watches in these types of color waves, yellow, this kind of turquoise blue. It's really popular right now, so it's a really great release from Celegin, right in time. And yeah, it's just buy it if you like it. The price on this nice little thing is the Kickstarter price, because this watch is on Kickstarter right now. The price on the racing leather strap is 6,950 crowns. That's approximately, I think it's about $700. I'm gonna be writing it out right here. And the price on the stainless steel bracelet is 7,450 crowns. That's about $750 US. And once the Kickstarter ends at the 16th of May, those prices will be going up to the list price, and then the list price will be approximately 1,000 crowns. That's $100 above the Kickstarter price. So you want to snag it at a nice little discount, you should act right now. So let's go back to me again, and for my final thoughts. And as I said in the intro, this is what I love about these kinds of independent brand watches, because the guys that are sending me watches sometimes, like Celegin, like Thyssen, like Nordlig, like Tidless, they all have some kind of vision and some kind of need and desire to do their own thing, to produce a watch that doesn't look like every other watch, and just to a passion, some kind of passion. And I think Mr. Celegin, Mr. Leonard, is one of the guys that has the most passion for his brand, and that actually tries to do his own thing slightly inspired by other watches, but still his own design and his own thing. And that's what actually draws me and what makes me happy to show you guys these watches for more, really more than basically homage watches. Because even though I have my love for homage watches, there's a reason I don't have any of them in my collection today. It's because of they're kind of soulless compared to these kinds of watches. I mean, brands like San Martin, Pagani, other brands I just can't, maybe Steinhardt in some way also, they don't have, as it appears to me, they don't have that we want to do something on our own, we want to do something that we've been inspired by and just put it out there. They're just basically ripping off someone else's design, even though it's not illegal, and I'm not saying anything about that. I like homage watches, but they're just basically taking another watch designer's catalog and just producing the same watches with slightly different things, but you can basically say it's the same watch, just with another name on the dial. And to me, that's not inspired, that's not passion. And to me, I really like showing you these kinds of watches that are actually made by real people that actually had a thought, a passion, a project they wanted to do, that actually spent thousands and thousands of hours making up the design, thinking about every little detail in the design, and then giving you something from their heart that is their own, not something that someone else made and then you just put another brand on the dial. So that's why I really love showing you this thing. It's fantastic. So, you like the watch? You want to buy the Helgonet from Celegin? Head over to their Kickstarter. I'm going to show you the Kickstarter page right here. And I think that the Kickstarter is going on until the 16th of May. Then the watch is going to be released, and then the price is going to go up to the listed price. So if you want to snag it to the, with that Kickstarter price, that discount, you better act soon, because soon it's going to be full retail. It's a great watch. Is it something that I personally would buy? No, I don't think it has a room in my collection. And I'm not that into cars and the Saint, the show that it's inspired by, but still it's a great watch at a great price, made by a real person with passion and drive. And if you like that cool color wave with the blue turquoise color that I actually love, then this is a watch for you. Well made, sturdy, it has all the specs you need. It's a great release from Celegin watches, and they have some other great releases as well. Check out their website. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming from Mr. Leonard Celegin. Thank you for sending me this watch for a full unboxing, not a review, because it's not my watch. It's not a review, it's just an unboxing and first impressions. So thank you, Celegin. I hope we continue to collaborate in future projects, and thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, consider giving me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, because that means a lot to me. And until I see you again, I hope you have a wonderful day in the sun. Bye bye.